The rest of the ingredients, vitamin A, my True Serum is 80% vitamin C, okay? The other 20% is going to be a little bit of chamomile extract, a little bit of licorice extract, some cholesterol, which is super important for skin healing, and then some transdermal penetrants, ingredients that help improve the penetration of the active ingredients. And that's it, you guys. That's all you need. The reason why you have bookkeepers in the skincare business is because bookkeepers care about the bottom line. So they're going to work on the bottom line. They don't care about your skin. A bookkeeper doesn't know about your skin. A banker doesn't know about your skin. A marketer doesn't know about your skin. What is a bookkeeper doing in the skincare business anyway? What is a banker doing in the skincare business anyway? They're in the business because they want to make some money. They don't care about your skin. Now, I don't have a problem with making money, of course. I'm a capitalist. I like money. But it's not fair to do it at the expense of ripping somebody off. If you have a bookkeeper who's running your skincare company, ask her or him what they're doing in the business. Do they care about your skin? Do they know what eczema is? Do they know what dry skin is? Do they know what ingredients are? Why are they in the business? Except to take advantage of you. It's not fair. It's not nice. It's dirty pool. All right, I'm sorry to go off on a tangent. Try to keep the show on a positive note, but it just makes me angry. If you got dry skin, you got a skin health issue, period. If you got dry skin or wrinkles or hyperpigmentation, you got a skin health issue. You got to address the health of the skin, and that means addressing the health of the body. Topically, it means vitamin A and vitamin C. Internally, it means probiotics, digestive enzymes, correcting digestive health issues. If you have any skin health problem, please understand the link between the digestive system and the skin is intimate. They're linked. There's no such thing as a skin health issue with some rare exceptions. As I said earlier, some topical problems. There's no such thing with those rare exceptions, with the exception of some topical issues. 99.9% of your skin health issues are associated with the digestive system. And that should come as no surprise to anybody who's listened to this program for any length of time. Acne, eczema, psoriasis, dry skin, hyperpigmentation, rosacea. Number one, think digestion. Food intolerances, do a food diary, fast. Fasting is unbelievably helpful for skin health issues. Control your sugar intake. Get yourself on a probiotic, a good probiotic supplement, a good digestive enzyme supplement. Make sure you're eating fermented foods. And then as far as supplements go, 20,000 IU of vitamin A, a must-have for all skin health issues. Vitamin C as well, a must-have for all skin health issues. Get on the Healthy Start Pack. Use essential fatty acids. Use the ultimate EFAs. Dry skin is your skin begging, crying for essential fatty acids, omega-3s and omega-6s. They're both important. Some nutritionists will say, oh, don't worry about omega-6s. I've heard people who I like, people who I trust say, don't worry about omega-6s because we get them in the diet. Baloney. Yes, we theoretically get them in the diet, but the problem is the foods that have the omega-6s are processed and heated and cooked, and we don't get the omega-6s either. Omega-6s are super important as anti-inflammatories and as wound healers. Omega-3s are important as anti-inflammatories and as wound healers. And then topically, make sure you're using vitamin C and vitamin A. And when it comes to vitamin A, make sure you're using your vitamin A in the retinol form or perhaps the retinoic acid form. Be a little bit careful because they both can be somewhat aggressive and stimulating, and always mix your A and C together. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We're coming back with Troy Opperly. We're going to talk some probiotics and digestive enzymes. Specifically, we'll talk about the Biolumin Nightly Essence when we come back from our break. All right, we're back on The Bright Side. Thank you for joining us. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time. If you've listened to this program for any length of time, you know that I love the Biolumin Nightly Essence. We talk about it on a daily basis. I love probiotics in general. I've been working with probiotics since the 1980s as a pharmacist. Used to recommend probiotics to women who had yeast infections or anybody who's on an antibiotic. I'd always recommend a probiotic. And these days, not a day goes by without an article or a study coming out verifying or corroborating the importance of using a good probiotic supplement and getting fermented foods. Getting enough fermented foods in your diet. I was on the phone last week I was on the phone with somebody that heard me on the radio, and we were chatting, and happened to mention probiotics, and I don't remember how it happened, but one thing led to another, and it turns out that this guy I was talking to on the phone, who's now become a good friend of mine over the last week or two, we've had several conversations. Anyway, he was saying, well, you know what, I know the guy who makes the Biolumin Nightly Essence. I was like, are you kidding me? Long story short, I He hooked me up with Troy. We had a conversation. I said, Troy, you got to get on the program. Troy is the founder and the CEO of Enzymology Research Center. He is one of the world's leading experts in enzymes. And we're going to talk about how enzymes relate to probiotics. As you know, the Biolumin Nightly Essence, one of the neatest things about it, in addition to having a full spectrum, broad spectrum of bacteria, also has great enzymes in there. And Troy is one of the guys who was one of the first guys to combine probiotics with digestive enzymes. Troy's an athlete, whitewater raft guide. He's bicycled solo across America. He's in great shape. He certainly doesn't look his age. And he credits enzymes for his superior state of health and his ability to stay injury-free. Please welcome to the bright side, Troy Opperly. Greetings, Troy.
Ben, wonderful to be here.
Good to talk to you. Thank you for joining us. So, you're the man who has combined enzymes with probiotics. Stroke of genius. What's the thinking? What was the logic there?
No, it's actually, I always attribute most of my things to being lazy.
To wanting to combine everything in one? Is that the idea?
Well, yeah, that's the fact that, I mean, I think if the average person calculated out, how many bottles they opened up every morning, dumped one capsule out, and then put the cap back on, they'd probably end up spending a week of their life just opening and closing bottles.
That's funny. So that's what you were thinking? That's what you were thinking when you put the...
Yeah, the couple of reasons. I mean, one, probiotics I always take before I go to bed on an empty stomach, and I do the same thing with systemic enzymes. So why not put them together into one
awesome.
one dose?
Why before bed? What's the thinking there?
Again, the body's in the restoration, recuperation mode. It's ready to kind of restore the body back from all the damage you've done to it that day. And especially as an athlete, I mean, some of the things I've done to my body have caused extensive damage. So, you want to give the body the tools it needs to repair itself during that critical time. So when you get up in the morning, you want to be refreshed and ready to hit it hard again the next day.
Now, when you talk about athletic repair, I assume you mean all repair, not just athletic repair. So repair of the gut too, right?
Absolutely, right.
And so nighttime, you'll get increased repair of the digestive lining, the epithelia, and the connective tissue, et cetera, if you use them at night?
Yes.
Very nice. And how did you select, of all the hundreds of different bacteria you could come up with, how did you come up with these 14, or I think it's 14, right? 14 or so bacteria.
Yep, 14, yep.
Was there a logic to the strategy to picking those 14? Was there a logic to it?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to look, again, I mean, that the bifidobacterium are the ones that live, predominantly in the large intestine, so we wanted to make sure that we had a nice offering of different ones. And if you look at, in regards to those 4 bacteria that are the bifidobacterium genus, you'll see that they'll obviously consume fecal matter. They'll basically produce B vitamins. And again, the main thing that we wanted to look at was just having the colon be more acidic, right? So they lower the pH. So again, that'll keep some of the bad bugs in check, so to speak.
The bifidobacterium lower the pH also? I know the lactobacillus does. Yeah? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so you drop the pH in the large intestine.
Yep, and then same thing with the small intestine. So again, we put 10 different strains in there. Again, there's a lot more variety as far as what was available back then in regards to what each of the particular strains have been studied regarding, what they do. So obviously acidophilus has been around and is probably the most well-known by the average person. But then also looking at some of the other studies that were out there at that time, and again, it just kind of goes back to if you look, I think like some of these work with the studies are very specific, right? Like they'll look at C. difficile, right? Diarrhea, lots of
causing diarrhea. You're talking about causing diarrhea. C. difficile as a cause of diarrhea.
Yeah. That the pathogens. So these inhibit those pathogens from taking root in the intestinal tract. Studies have been done showing that. So you go, okay, great. You probably want to include that particular strain in there. Also, obviously, the scientists don't exactly agree, but 60-80% of your immune system is in your intestinal tract, so in your gut, so to speak.
So if you have an immune problem or an autoimmune problem kind of thing, probiotics are like a must-have.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge as far as immune stimulators, and then just increasing your body's effectiveness to kill off not just foreign invaders, but again, any type of. If we look at the food, I mean, like you were mentioning about probiotics, there's not a day or week that doesn't go by that you see all these different studies and research. But on the other side of that, if you look, there's probably not a week that goes by that you don't hear of some massive E. coli or food recall, or I mean, just the food machine that's out there. I go, is not. It's not working in your favor. Let's just put it that way. I go, you've got to protect yourself from the foods that we're eating today. So this is a great way to do that.
Probiotics can protect you against E. coli from, say, spinach or from processed meat, et cetera. Using a probiotic supplement can be protective.
Absolutely.
Nice. And now how about the idea? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'll share a personal story. I mean, because going back to probably 20 years ago, I mean, that one of the few times in my life I had food poisoning from eating some type of fish. And, I mean, I personally thought, I mean, that was one of the worst experiences I've ever gone through in my entire life. And I'm good at, inflicting pain, on myself through my athletic endeavors, but this was way beyond anything I'd ever want anybody to experience. And I mean, it was kind of like you're going to die, type.
You wish
type
you could
scenario.
die. Probably you wish you could die.
Yeah, right.
I know. Right.
So I took it was a combination of plantarum and salivarius probiotics, and I am talking within 30 minutes. It was as if it never happened. And
wow.
That's
tell me again.
What sold me.
Tell me the names of those. Tell me those names of those bacteria.
Lactobacillus plantarum.
Okay.
And the other one is Lactobacillus salivarius.
Well, I know the salivarius. Oh, they're both in the Biolumin Nightly Essence, aren't they?
Yeah. Yep. So those are my personal favorites, just because of my own personal experience with that I know they work and that and very quickly.
Interesting. So how about the proteolytic enzymes? Is there a synergy between the proteolytic enzymes and the acid and the probiotics? Or are they in there just as to get both of these kinds of ingredients together, as you said, for ease? Or is there a synergy between the two? And hang on to the answer to that question, Troy, because we got to take a break. Okay, don't go away. All right. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We're talking to Troy Opperly, formulator of the Biolumin Nightly Essence. And we'll come back. We'll take a break and come back and get some more good health information and probiotic information on The Bright Side right after this. Don't go away. All right, we are back on The Bright Side talking to Troy Opperly of the Enzymology Research Center, CEO of the Enzymology Research Center, about his formulation and my favorite longevity product, or second favorite longevity product, the Biolumin Nightly Essence. So, Troy, enzymes and probiotics, stroke of genius. You said that you did it for convenience, but is there a synergy between the two?
Absolutely. When I just think about it, you think about the intestinal tract and the probiotics providing a nice, clean, healthy environment. What that does is it provides an opportunity for the systemic enzymes to come in there, be absorbed through the gut wall, travel into the bloodstream, and then circulate throughout the entire body. What they're doing out there is what they do with, in the digestive process as well. I mean, they only do two things. They speed things up and break things down. So there's a lot of things that are in the bloodstream, in the tissues, the organs, the muscles that need to be cleaned out, especially during the evening. So as the enzymes or systemic enzymes are working in the bloodstream, they'll filter all that stuff, break that stuff down through. Again, that's going to filter ultimately, through the spleen, the kidney, the spleen, the liver, and then the liver is going to dump that back into the colon, right? And then get that out of the system. So they work very symbiotically together. So that's why the results that you feel when you get up in the morning are very comprehensive and very systemic, not just inside your digestive tract, but also in your circulatory, your muscles, everything. It's amazing.
I think that's really interesting. There's, when we hear enzymes, when a lot of people hear enzymes, they think digestive enzymes, but indeed, enzymes are catalysts. The biological system couldn't work, biology couldn't work without enzymes. So when you're taking your proteolytic enzymes, your digestive enzymes in the Biolumin Nightly Essence, you're going to get systemic benefits as well, correct? Anti-inflammatory benefits, pain benefits, blood thinning benefits, etc. No, correct?
Huge. Yeah, if you look at it wasn't just one, particular proteolytic enzyme. I mean, this is a complete panel. I mean, that's why this product was so cutting edge back 10 years ago. I mean, it still is today.
It's still cutting it. It's still cutting edge.
You don't see stuff like this out there. I go, and the studies and research that have been done, on protease, papain, bromelain, nattokinase, and C-pros are astounding. I mean, there's no doubt they've been verified and they do what they say.